Alright, what's going on everybody? Today I wanted to talk about a couple things, but I also wanted to do something a little unorthodox. Today I'm using a Steam controller, and I'm going to be doing that for the next couple of videos. It is arguably one of the hardest controllers to use, but once you get over that learning curve, like there's that almost mouse-like feel to it, so I'm gonna try it out. Doing this, however, I've found something very interesting. On PC at least, you have what looks like two totally different skill bases based on input, and that starts to get me wondering, is there anything more going on behind the scenes of our favorite online games? And that was the question that I asked, and that led me down a rabbit hole of patents and really digging in to see what these technologies that could be being used right now might have the ability to do. Let's start with one that was really the main big beef of what I've been seeing, at least, that people are really like stirred up about. And this is US patent 11040286. And this little number isn't some fancy new graphics card update or anything like that. It's the blueprint for a method and system that could potentially quote unquote revolutionize content generation in multiplayer environments. So there's a couple things that this patent really talks about. It talks about skill-based matchmaking. It talks about how they want to focus and kind of careen you into a certain play style. And I mean, it makes sense because you want to be talking and playing with friends and meeting new people. They want team players. I think the crazier thing is there is, in this patent at least, they talk about a likability index. So they try to pair you with people who play like you based on how you play and what inputs you make. And they additionally want to create gaming worlds that reflect your social circle, quote unquote. They have tailored missions, weapons, and even entire maps that they'll develop for specific people, like the whales. You know, the people who spend thousands of dollars on a game regardless of what is going on. It's all just microtransactions, right? So we definitely see that there can be a darker side to every technology. And there's a lot of examples of technology that was good, right? Like, ooh, nuclear power, oops, dropped a bomb. I mean, if you look at it, technology has the potential to bring about significant positive changes in the world, but it can also be used completely wrong. It can be exploited in very harmful and dangerous ways. And to the extent that I'm talking about, it's not like, you know, nuclear bombs, but I'm talking about, you know, social media, facial recognition, AI, drones, you get it, like the list goes on and on and on. But like facial recognition was developed to improve security. Little did we know that that facial recognition would be hijacked by governments and those in power to essentially track everything you're doing. Under a facial recognition rule, you can't trust anything. You've got no privacy, you've got no civil liberties. But enough about that. Let's get back to talking about this patent. And so this image, this diagram that's in this patent, it's figure 3C. It's all about balancing the skills for different skill levels, quite literally giving the advantage to worse players. And I know what you're probably saying right now, but oh, this is for a different game. The technology's here. It's already implemented. It might have been for some MMO that Activision made, you know, World of Warcraft. Blizzard, Activision, you know, they own all of that. But from at least what I am understanding, what this table suggests is that it is changing gameplay elements to give novice players a boost while throwing, harder experiences is what they say, making it more fair for somebody who's playing a game. The problem is we're talking about a competitive online multiplayer shooter where you would think that the playing field would at least be even, right? Now, doesn't this mean the game could be accused of favoring certain players? Not necessarily. It could be a way to bridge the gap between diverse skill sets. So say, you know, you have somebody who's really good at aiming, but they never move, ever. They're a stationary turret. And then you watch them and they get mopped by somebody with a little bit better And yeah, at the end of the day, I get it. The whole point of a game is to have fun. And if you're constantly getting mocked, you're not having fun. The problem is, it is creating nothing but unfair situations between games that literally do exactly what this game is going to do, where even though I'm playing on something that I'm having an incredibly difficult time controlling, we're still winning the game. Now this rabbit hole does go deeper. There are a bunch of other patents, like patent US 108-57468. This one's like the psychological warfare of gaming patents, strategizing on how to get players to open their wallets by pitting them against those decked out in the flashiest paid for cosmetics. And we're not going to just ignore the potential implications of that. There's a 110% chance that this is emotional manipulation. The game will prey on your envy, frustration, or even the addiction of buying new things, all in the pursuit of profit, right? I personally feel like these patents open up a can of worms in terms of ethics and social responsibility in gaming. It's crucial to talk about this, especially as a community. Now, what do you think about these practices? Are they simply leveling the playing field for everybody, or do you think that we're looking at something a little bit more nefarious? Or are you looking at a future where your successes in a game is more about your wallet than your skill? Because for me, at the end of the day, I just don't want to be manipulated. I quite literally use this game as a social experience and nothing really more. The competitive nature of Call of Duty's gone. That was made sure of by every little goblin who calls themselves a script kiddie, or the elite number 250 in the world player that is clearly cheating. But that's for another video.